Hi, this is REAPSO Video, and I'm Theodore Ross, Editor-in-Chief of the Food and Environment Reporting Network, or FERN. I'm here at FERN HQ in New York City in what looks like a generic office, but is in fact a portal to another dimension that ends in a time warp that goes into a black hole. My guest today is Rowan Jacobsen. I'm really excited to have him here today. He's a science and nature writer, and he's also the reporter on the premiere episode of Buzzkill, FERN's podcast series on the pollinator crisis. Welcome, Rowan. First episode, the opposite of a buzzkill.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Great. So your episode begins with a close look at a really big problem, the mass die-off of bees in the United States. 90% of American bumblebees gone in the last 2 decades, and wild bees, 1 in 4 in North America, are at increasing risk of extinction. But what's fascinating to me about your reporting and the Buzzkill series overall, I think, is that it goes deeper than just the collapse and looks critically at the phenomenon of saving the bees and asks, are we doing it the right way? So, Rowan, tell me, why this story?
Yeah, so this all came out of sort of our cultural awakening about 15 years ago that we actually are totally dependent on bees and other pollinators for our food supply. So they weren't just this cute thing in the woods or that makes honey. We are actually tied very closely to them for our entire civilization at a certain level. So the fact that, as you just said, that pollinator populations were declining meant that this was a good opportunity to look at those connections and also figure out if we were doing the right thing. Because what came out of that cultural awakening was a lot of people wanted to help the bees, and one of the ways we all did that was to get honeybee hives. But that turned out to be sort of a mix-up in some of the messaging and some of the takeaways, and so this was a really good opportunity to dive into that whole situation and see if we had gotten the right lessons in the first place.
So, what would you say was the biggest obstacle to your reporting?
The biggest obstacle, I would say, is that there is no easy, clear answer. The more we dug in, the more we realized that a lot of these things are trade-offs where you're weighing risks and rewards, and where A affects B, affects C. So it became a very complex story about food production and industrial agriculture and industrial civilization.
I don't think there is no right answer. I think there's a right answer. I think there's sensible answers. I just don't think those answers are very easy to execute. That maybe that's splitting hairs, but that's what I think. Final question, and sorry for the editorializing.
That's fair.
What's the takeaway? What should we learn from this episode?
Well, all right. So the easy takeaway, maybe speaking to your point, is that keep bees if you love bees, if it's a hobby that you're fascinated by. Do not keep bees if you're doing it to save the bees, because we need to save wild pollinators. We need to have food production, but having a hive of honeybees in your yard, or especially in your city block, is doing nothing to help wild pollinators.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Rowan. To all of you out there who are not in the black hole with me, I really hope you'll listen to Buzzkill. Rowan's episode is great. It's out now, and we'll be releasing new episodes each week into March. You can find Buzzkill on REAPSO or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Buzzkill's a big undertaking for FERN, and if you want to learn more about our dispatches from the front lines of food, farming, and the environment, or if you want to donate to support our work, go to www.thefern.org. Thanks very much.